Hi, Chris here, and as you know, I love Google Read and Write extension, and I just want to talk about a new thing called Check It for spell grammar check, which is really awesome. If you already have Google Read and Write, the Check It should come up within this week. If you want to really get there faster, you can uninstall and reinstall it, and that works as well. And if you don't have Google Read and Write, here's how you can install it as well. So finally, I'm going to right-click here. I'm just going to remove this one, and then I'm going to go ahead and add it back in again. So I'm going to go to the Chrome Web Store, and I'm going to look under the extensions here, and I'm going to look for Read and Write. There it is there, and I'm going to add that to Chrome, and you'll see it. I'll say go ahead and add the extension. It'll pop up here in the box in a second. It may ask you to say yes, authenticate, or let it talk to your Google Chrome stuff. And then I'm going to go over to my drive. I'm going to create a new document to show you this Check It. So my new document, I don't like the word untitled document, so I'll give it a name here. And let me type in a sentence or two. Oops. So Google is going to give me a couple spelling mistakes, and if I right-click that, it's going to give me some suggestions, which is great, but it's not giving me any grammar mistakes as well. So if I click on this Read and Write drop down and I see the Check It, if I click the Check It box, that engages and says, wait a minute, I think there's a problem here. And if I click on it, like to eat, yes, I'd like to do it that way. Grammar is grammar with an A, and I is ready should be I am ready for grammar check. Now that I have it clicked, if I keep typing some other things in there, it's going to stay on for me, and it's going to say, wait a minute, there's some problems to the zoo. Oops, if I click on it, left click again, to the zoo, it's fixing that. And it even gave me a suggestion saying I've got 3 sentences starting with the same word. It doesn't read very well, and so maybe I want to consider changing my sentence structure that way. So that is Google Read and Write, this new icon on here called Check It. And remember as well, with Read and Write, we can do all kinds of things, like we can play it back to myself.
I like to eat apples and bananas. I am ready for grammar check. I went to the zoo.
Great way to review things. Don't forget as well, with Google Read and Write, we can also talk and type. So if I want to talk and type, I just go ahead and click on this little microphone here. Allow my microphone. Wherever my cursor was is where the type is going to start, period, new paragraph. I can talk and it's going to type things in for me really quickly, and I can then go back afterwards and revise my work if I want to, period. Click on the button to stop typing, and look how quickly that comes through. A couple other features that we talked about before is picture dictionary, regular dictionary first. So if I click on any word in the box, it's going to give me that dictionary for grammar, or if I click on zoo, it's going to give me the dictionary for that. I also have a picture dictionary, so if I click on that one, it's going to show up on my page, and I can move it anywhere I want on the page. And again, whatever I click on, whatever word I click on, is going to give me a picture dictionary and a regular dictionary with it at the same time. And I want to look at translation too. I'm just going to close these dictionaries for a minute to get some of this more screen on here. And I'm going to go over on the top right, I'm going to click on here, and I'm going to go to options. And under speech translation, what language would I like to translate to? So I've got lots of different languages they can translate to. I'm going to pick French. So then I can add this translator if I'd like to as well. So there's my translator, and whatever word I click on, it's going to translate into the other for me. So I have English into French. And I can also change this if I wanted to say the language I'm working on is, instead of English, I can actually be typing in Spanish or French, or there's not a lot of options there, but I have a few options there that I can type in, and it picks up that language tool as well. So lots of things going on there. And one last feature, if you are on any website and you click on the Google Read and Write, then it gives you that same toolbar. And within that toolbar, I can do things like hover speech, which says wherever I put my cursor,
while Eastern Ontario
it's going to read that out for me. So I can move my cursor anywhere I want on the page, and it starts to read for me,
calls for
which is a great way to have it read out to you. You can also do things like in research, you can highlight this and you can color code right on the page. Oops. In different colors. And if you collect all the colors together, what they'll do is create a new document for you. And in that Google Doc, then it's going to show you those, and it's also going to have a link to what website you took it from, so you can always go back there if you're quoting your sources. So that's really cool. Two more quick ones. Screen mask just lets you kind of focus on one little thing at a time if you like to as you're working through something. And the last one that was interesting is this simplify page. It actually pulls the page out and gets rid of all the extra stuff. Like it gets rid of the pictures for one, but we can even simplify more, and it goes through an algorithm to figure out how to bring this down. Some work better than others, right? So I can get rid of some minuses, and it goes down to just the most important points from that article. So that's kind of neat.